Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast, the Project Investigation Collaboration, brought to you by the Veritas Project. And as always, we are here with our gracious host and founder of the Veritas Project, the head man himself, Robert Wiki Bob Curtis. And I am lead investigator Todd Boyer. And welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, welcome in.
Oh, what's going on in local news?
Working on the farmhouse, getting it one step closer to being finished. We cleared out the library. Today, Angie cleared out the library.
Right on.
So we're ready to do the floors in there and start getting the bookcase built.
Yeah, once we get the floors done, we can start working on thinking about move the studio over there.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
That's a big step, and the termites have done quite a bit of damage over there. Termites, man.
Yep, that's a shame. A lot of damage.
Yeah.
Let's see. I had something. I don't even remember what it was. Local news-wise. I don't remember. I ate too much. I got brain fog. I had a gift card to the steak chain that rhymes with Mexis Mode Mouse, and ate entirely way too much before I came over. So I have brain fog going on. Just don't mind me today.
Yeah. No. So we had we broke 1390 finally.
Oh, really?
So we're finally gaining at a steady rate.
Yay.
We're losing bots and gaining at a rate that... So we're at 1393 as of the filming of this. So
yay.
That's good.
Well, we've been stuck at like 13,008 something,
right?
880.
60 goes back and forth between 60 and 80
and
for the last like 2 months.
We'll gain new followers and then we'll lose bots and then gain new subscribers and lose bots. And it's been that way since our last big episode.
Right.
So
it's kind of sad, but the YouTube put out a thing in the content creators forum saying that they have a new algorithm that's going to get rid of a lot of bots. Because there's a lot of gaming YouTubers that have bot farms that they've paid for, and sometimes to look legit, the bots will join they'll follow other creators so that it makes it look like it's a real person, and they know that's a big issue, so they're starting to crack down. They have a new algorithm that's supposed to single out those bots and get rid of them.
Right on.
And I noticed that like a big named female gamer who had like 8,000 people online went down to like 600 people online in like 1 hour because of the new algorithm. She was not happy about it.
Yeah, cheat the system.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's see. Yeah, I can't think of anything. I had something, but I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. Local news. So we are going to discuss the 3i Atlas, which is the big comet that's on its way that has a bunch of conspiracy theory behind it.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to the meat and potatoes and basically let you guys know what it really is. And then we'll also discuss some of the conspiracy theories after. Now, all the data that we have was pulled from reliable sources, NASA, that kind of stuff. So we actually have the what it really is.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to have fact-based stuff as the background, then we can talk about, the fun
conspiracy
stuff.
So what is 3i Atlas? It's the third confirmed interstellar visitor. So first we have one eye, Umamu. The thing is, they are named after what? Muamua. There you go. Yeah. They're named after the station that actually discovered them. So the telemetry or telescope station that discovered them, that's how the name works.
Right.
So then we have 2i Borisov, which I'm sure is Russian, Borisov.
Right.
And I'm sure the Oumuamua is probably the one in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, but 3i Atlas is the third interstellar, comet that they found. Now, what exactly is an interstellar comet? It means its origin is outside of our solar system.
Right.
So, it's in a hyperbolic, unbound path, meaning it's not in a rotation path. It's just cruising through our solar system.
It's going so fast that it's not affected by our sun's gravity. That's what that means. It's not
Yep.
because most comets like Halley's Comet and the other comets that we see from time to time, they're heliocentric
Right.
course. So they come in, the sun bends their trajectory and throws them back out,
And they come back around.
and then they come back around again on our whirlpool shaped universe, and it just has a regular
solar
path,
system. Yeah.
right?
So this is literally going to do a drive by, and we'll never see it
Yeah,
again.
it'll just.
So it will be gone. It's currently classified as an active comet. It's venting,
Right.
Meaning it has a tail behind it, letting off gas and that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's somewhere from outside the solar system. Full-on cosmic road tripper.
Yeah. Initially, that's why the Avi Loeb and all these other scientists said that it was a UFO that was coming in because it didn't have a coma and it wasn't venting anything yet. And then once it got to the edge of the influence of the sun, the heat from the sun, then it did start venting.
Right.
So, but at first it vented H2O, which is what we would expect to see in a comet, because most
Right.
comets vent ice. Once they get heated up, then the surface of it heats up, and then it vents off. Well, this is venting CO2, which is completely unusual for a comet. And then they say the spectrometer views of it say that it's actually made out of nuclear reactive nickel. And if you know anything about space and the way asteroids work, the majority of them are iron.
Right.
Then the nuclear, smashing of iron is what creates nickel as a byproduct. So it's unusual to see an object that's actually made of nickel that doesn't have iron in it. So that's a weird composition for it to have.
So it was actually spotted on July 1st, but then they went back and looked. It was spotted July 1st by the Atlas telescope in Chile. But they went back and they looked, and they saw that actually went back to, where is it? I just lost. There it is, June 14th. They went back and looked at previous pictures, and it was in the area, and they didn't see it.
They didn't
pick it up.
They just noticed the movement of it.
Yep. So they picked it up 2 weeks earlier. They said it's coming in fast.
Right.
Early images show the faint coma, and it's approaching from the Sagittarius area, more like the galactic center-ish.
Yeah.
So it's
like you would expect a comet to
yeah.
come from.
It's coming from the thicker part of space, known space, the more crowded. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
The more crowded part of known space. So. The Perihelion, which is close to the sun, October 30th, 2025, that was just inside of Mars's orbit, and it's going to be closest to the Earth. It's not going to be anywhere close. It's going to be well out beyond.
Yeah.
So
Actually, the timing of it is really weird because in our orbit, we will be on the other side of the sun as it comes into our into our galaxy, which is unusual because most of the comets we have a good view of.
Right.
But this one is timed perfectly so that it hides behind the sun most of its trip.
Yep.
And poor Mars is out in the open when it comes by. So it's going to cruise right past Mars.
Right. And we're not even going to be able to see it until early December because of, like you said, it's going to slip behind the sun.
Right.
And then as it clears the sun, we'll actually get a view of it in December. So
it's cool for us because we're more than safe hiding behind the sun. But it's bad for Mars and our exploration of Mars because it's going to go less than like 1 point something million miles past Mars.
On a galactic scale, it's a freaking drive-by.
Yeah, when something's moving 13,000 miles an hour,
right?
It's going to cruise past with all of this, CO2 that it's venting. The tail of it is going to go right past Mars. Which I'm personally, I didn't hear anybody else talking about that, but I'm interested to see how much of Mars's atmosphere is going to catch that CO2, and then maybe it'll have more of a oxygen-rich, atmosphere.
That's a possibility.
So the surface of Mars is made of iron.
Right.
It's a lot of FeO2 iron, like rust, basically.
Right.
So if you add CO2 to rust, then you're going to get oxygen. So that would be really cool for us if this comet just happened to leave a whole bunch of oxygen on Mars for us to go and set up a resort.
That would explain a lot, like, of our history and that kind of stuff, if it actually pulled that off.
It would be really cool.
Yeah. So we'll be able to see it up until September, and then September is when it's going to boink out behind the sun. Yeah. So now Bob says it's moving. So how fast is this thing moving? It is moving at 137,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's what it is.
137,000 miles per hour. How far is it to the moon? It's 238,000 miles to the moon. So this thing would literally make it from the moon to us in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that's how fast this thing is ripping through the solar system. That's pretty quick. 2 hours.
Fast. Yeah.
2 hours.
Now think about that warning that you get, right? That's how fast it's moving. Like you would see it on the horizon, then just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's over. Bonk.
So this is way faster than the first two interstellar meteors that came through. And this thing is going to increase speed as it gets closer to the sun because it's going to slingshot off the sun.
That's what we were talking about, the perihelion, where the gravity of the sun takes over. And then instead of working like a buffer, where the thing's already going fast, and then the sun would kind of, in effect, slow it down because of the gravity of the sun would change its trajectory. Yep. It's not, because it's going so fast that the sun is only going to speed it up.
Yep, it's going to come through. It's going to gain speed getting closer to the sun and just spread on out. So, translation, no capture, no lingering. It's going to zip on through.
It's going so fast that we'll never see it again.
Yep. Now, Hubble set an upper limit to 3.5 miles for the nucleus, but it could be as small as 320 meters.
Right.
That's part of the problem, is because it's venting, they can't really tell how big this thing is. And before it was so far out, before it started venting, that it was so far out they couldn't get a good measurement on it either.
Right.
So now they're guessing the size by the brightness, and that's usually how they do them.
Yeah.
And early ground estimates were larger. And then it said the space data tinted the range, and it's likely still the largest interstellar object we've imagined.
Right.
They say expect refinements as the brightness nears perihelion.
Yeah.
So as it gets to its brightest point, they'll be able to really figure it out.
And it helps when it gets into our galaxy, because it helps have things you can compare it to on the telescope.
Right.
So you can say, okay, well, it's bigger than this, and it's smaller than this. So then we know how big those things are.
Right.
Then we can say, okay, well, then it really is the size of Manhattan, or it really is the size of Texas, or whatever they were trying to say earlier.
And what Bob was saying earlier is on August 6th, they took a look at it, and they detected CO2, H2O, and CO. Mm-hmm. Water, ice, and carbonyl sulfide in the coma. The CO2 and the H2O ratio is unusually high. So one of the highest ever in a comet. That odd chemistry hints at formations near CO2 ice line or under intensive radiation.
Right. So what they're saying there is that most of our comets are water-based, where like a planet collided with another planet, and then the fragment of dust caught a bunch of H2O from that event, and then now there's a big mash pile of rocks and water, basically, and then that's what most of our comets are. But this is CO2, which means it had to have come from two galaxies smashing together.
Right.
And that nuclear blast of those two masses being smashed together threw out a piece that is nothing but CO2.
Right. And then we were literally just getting onto that topic. Where might it have come from?
Right.
They suggested birthplaces in the Milky Way in the thick disk, older metal poor stars.
Right.
So if so, then 3i Atlas could be older than our solar system. They're saying it could be 7 billion years old.
That's crazy.
So basically, the eject scenario is gravity pinball.
Right.
I mean, it just bounced from this system to that system, picking up speed as it flew by suns, and it's still just cruising. Yeah. So the CO2-rich mix fits a colder and harsher nursery than ours. So it came from deep, cold space.
We were lucky in the Goldilocks zone because all of our planets' rotations are standardized. They rotate in a circle, and everybody minus their P's and Q's and doesn't get in each other's ways.
Right.
And some galaxies weren't so lucky, and they smashed into each other, and now, boom.
Right.
They had a bad day.
So why are the astronomers freaking out, but in a good way? It's the first interstellar comet we can study with the new telemetry that we have, that we're able to tell what its composition is and all that good stuff. It's the first interstellar one that's come by since all that new technology.
That we can see with the Webb, the Hubble, and the Sphere all at the same time looking at one object. So you have radial spectrometers, you have infrared, you can do all the different scans at the same exact time.
Yep.
It's the first time that's ever happened. It's really cool.
And also because of the weird chemistry makeup.
Right.
It's way off the bell curve from where we would normally see something like this.
Yeah.
So it makes for an odd origin story. And it offers a lab for comet physics under truly alien conditions.
Right.
So it also helps calibrate what comet means beyond our solar system. We weren't able to study the first two as well as we can study this one. And it sets the stage for future interstellar intercept mission concepts.
Yeah, the Oumuamua specifically was so bad that we didn't even get a telescope trained on it until it was on its way out.
Yep. And
that's what a lot of people, like myself included, in the community were like, hey, why are we paying all this money for these anti-collision, sky scanning things when you guys missed this whole comet shot right through our whole galaxy? It was on its way out before you guys got a picture of it. Like, what are we paying you for? We could wake up one day and just have a comet slam into the Earth, and you guys would never know.
So what Bob was talking about earlier about the orbits, what is a hyperbolic orbit? It's a bound orbit. It's an ellipse. It's a loop. It's what our planets do. They don't get away. Now, the excess speed is after solar gravity. They come in hot from the void. Approach at angular velocity doesn't match solar system family dynamics. And the math is how we tagged Oumuamua and Borisov and now the Atlas.
Right. So
the hyperbolic speed makes missions hard,
Yeah.
So
right, they were talking about on the news about having Bruce Willis go out there and land on it, and I was like, did you not hear yourself say how fast that thing is going?
Right.
Like, how are you going to catch up
with?
Yeah. It's only going 130,000 miles an hour.
Right.
Right. You just make a Corvette spaceship. Like shoot right up there. Like, you people, man. I'll tell you what.
There's no threat. I mean, it's this thing is going to be a long way from us. It'll be closer to Mars, like Bob said, and the planetary defense teams are watching anyway. I mean, it's their job, right?
They're supposed to be. So, that's what we're paying them for. The good thing Oumuamua wasn't an alien armada, or we'd already been beat up by now.
No, you're not going to be able to see this thing with a naked eye, unfortunately. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of websites out there that are going to be tracking this thing.
Yeah.
So, drama level, let's keep it to a low.
Right. For us, we got lucky.
Scientist excitement high.
It's on the other side of the sun from us.
Right.
Which makes it suck anyway, because if a comet is on the other side of the sun, then you can't see the tail, because the tail is always being created from the sun, so it always points away from the sun. But because this tail is CO2, then it's all infrared anyway, so we can't see it with our eyes at night, If you had a really good telescope, you might be able to see the actual... the rock of it, but you wouldn't be able to see the coma or the corona or any of it.
So let's get on with the conspiracy part of it.
Yeah.
Right? Alien probe. So, controversial reprint framed 3-Eye Atlas as a possible hostile tech.
Yeah.
Because of the angle that it's coming in and everything that it's doing.
Changed.
And it's hiding behind the sun.
Right.
So, and some tabloids amplified the idea, citing the weird CO2 shroud. Treat it with caution. Yeah. But the consensus is natural comment with odd chemistry.
Yeah.
So.
And the scientists that they always talk about, like the scientist said that it was a nuclear craft and it has all that. Avi Loeb is not a scientist, bro. Okay,
Right.
that's the guy you're talking. Everybody's talking about the scientists. They're talking about science. They're talking about all this. No, they're not. They're talking about one dude, one guy. Okay,
Right.
we can calm down. It's just one dude saying that. And yeah, I shared a video earlier this week of Neil deGrasse Tyson weighing in on it, and he's like, Don't listen to this guy. He doesn't
Right.
know what he's talking about. You know, it's like I always talk about that guy in Mexico. What's his name?
Oh,
I forget his name.
the one that blew up the whole.
The alien. Every time there's a paper mache alien that comes out, and I'm like, oh, let's take a look at this. And then I see this guy, whatever, Alejandro, whatever. I'm like, here we go again.
Right.
They're like, no, this time it's real. Like, shh, princess. No, none of that is real, dude. This guy is famous, world famous for these hoaxes. Like, it's every couple years, him and his friends go in their garage, they make a paper mache alien, they send it to the MRI thing.
Right.
No, that's what this is.
Well, and then, a lot of people are using it for clickbait too, because,
Exactly
drama
what it is.
sells.
Right.
Fear sells. Some people think it's a cover-up,
Yeah.
And NASA and everybody, they're posting publicly about it. I mean, if this thing were an alien craft, it would be more stealthy. They wouldn't come in on the path they're coming in.
And who would be more excited about it than NASA if it really was an alien spacecraft? You know what I mean? They would be like, "Oh, this is news." You know, what I mean, this is something really cool. Like,
and they're being very transparent about it.
Yeah, they're like,
the
no,
size
it's
and
a
everything.
rock, bro.
So is it cosmic omens and ancient prophecies?
Right.
People always map the sky events into human stories. It's great culture.
Yeah.
So and back in the day, like Halley's Comet would have been a big thing. Or Hale-Bopp.
Yeah.
Like, in ancient times, that would have been a massive thing.
Oh, yeah, they'd be out there worshiping. Like, lighting up the sky at night, Yeah, there's no truth to any of that. Any time you get out of the tabloids and look at the actual scientists like the ESA and NASA and anybody who mans a real telescope, they're like, no, we've seen stuff like this before, but not of this composition.
And as much as Bob and I love a good conspiracy, physics don't care about omens.
It reminded me a lot of the pyramid thing that we debunked. Like everybody on TikTok was like, there's coils below the pyramid, and this is proof of and that's right up our alley.
We were excited.
Yeah.
Like legit excited about the pyramids. Then we looked into it and was like, dang,
this is dumb.
So
this is the same thing. Like when they first announced it, they said it made a turn in space and it was doing all of this stuff, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. And then they were like, oh, well, the scientists said that it has nuclear energy and it's emitting its own light, and it's made 2 turns or course corrections already, so they can come into our galaxy. And then you look at NASA and they're like, no, it's on the same path that it's always been on. There's no light coming from it. It's just different filters on the James Webb telescope that makes it look like it's emitting light, because they're wanting to find they're trying to find out what metal it's made out of, But yeah, it's not as cool as everyone thinks it is.
So can we land on this Bruce Willis style? That's the question.
That would be super cool.
No. It's like hitting a bullet with a bullet, and by the time we got a spacecraft together ready to rock and roll, this thing's going to be long gone.
Yeah, we've got months, and there isn't even a spaceship that exists. So you would have to build it, test it, fly it, man it, and then get it on its way to no, forget about it.
It'd be cool if we could chase it and learn about it and that kind of stuff, but I mean, it's not reasonable.
No,
it's not going to happen. So if you guys want up to the minute science, you can go to NASA. You'll go to Hubble.
Yeah.
JWST.
Right.
ESA NASA, which is European.
Yeah, the European Space Administration.
Yep. And space.com. They'll give you all the details on it if you want to go check all this thing out. And once again, Bob and I have to come in and tell everybody it's a bunch of hokum.
Yeah, it's not. It's not as cool as everybody's making it out to be. It's not as cool when everybody's making it out. The alien armada is coming to visit and all this stuff.
So
no, there's nobody on.
Take me home. Come get me. Take me home, guys.
There's nobody on YouTube that would be more excited if it was UFO than me. Right? I would take that week off of work so that I could I'll get a laser. Like
Bob is up there. Bob's out in the field across the road here. It says
making
land
my
here.
own crop circles. Like, take me with you.
So to debunk all the garbage on 3i Atlas, it's just a comet.
It's a
cool
comet.
comet.
Right. It's really cool.
Really freaking cool comet, but it's just a comet, guys.
Right.
So here we are debunking everybody else's garbage on TikTok again.
Like usual.
Usual.
We're the whole truth, man.
You guys know we love a good conspiracy and love the paranormal and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, it's...
If we had one, we'd be happy to come in here and be like, hey, they got pictures of UFO, you know, they got it's coming in, they saw it change, it downshifted, it you know what I mean, threw out their garbage, just like all this cool stuff. Like, no, sorry, it's not doing any of that cool stuff.
Oh well, sorry guys. So we're gonna wrap things up here.
Yeah.
We have the new postcards. I just signed it. Bob's got to sign it still. I will show it to the TikTokers. That is the new postcards. Angie has taken some of our thumbnails and turned them into cartoons and made the new postcards for our Patreon people. And if you sign up at the 0 level, you get on the Patreon page at the back of the podcast here. If you do $5 a month, we send you one of these postcards. Bob and I sign it. Angie writes you a nice note because, well, like I always say every week, our handwriting is horrible.
A lot better than mine.
So, also, if you want to check us out on Discord, the Veritas Project on Discord, come in there, jump in, ask us a question. We will definitely answer anything that you guys have. Let's see, what else? Oh, the ghost bag, you've got like a week. You got a week to send us your story. We'll turn it into a podcast. The podcast with the most views at the end of whatever we get by the end of the week. You win that paranormal investigation starter kit. So we unfortunately only got one story that we could. Somebody sent us a story, but it was literally like barely a paragraph.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much we could really do with it. I mean, we couldn't make a podcast out of it.
No.
So, but if you have a story, send it to therealveritasproject@gmail.com. We'll get Scott on that, checking those emails. What else we got? Oh, Printify. If you want some merch, go to Printify.
Yeah.
Get some merch.
The cool
that postcard will be a t-shirt.
Will be on a t-shirt. It'll be on stickers. You can get a mug, all kinds of stuff.
Whatever you want. Also, guys, don't forget about our partnership with Dubby. Want to grab your WW cup? Bob is actually drinking. Turn it around there.
There we go.
Bob's actually drinking one of the hydrate drinks right now.
Yeah, I love
it is completely clear. They don't add any extra dyes or any crazy stuff like that.
Nope.
So if you go to Dubby's website and use Whole Truth, all one word, get a 10% discount.
How about that? Looking out for you guys.
Yeah, it's good stuff. They use
really good.
They use methylcobalamin rather than the stuff I don't like. So
they like taurine and guarana or all that.
Yeah, they use good stuff. So they're actually a more healthy energy drink and hydration drink. So let's see. Check us out on all the other social medias.
Yeah.
Bob is RS Curtis 73 on everything. I'm Investigator Todd on everything. And don't forget.
Instagram.
Yep. How are we doing on catching up on the
Spotify? I haven't edited anything.
Haven't done it in a while.
No.
So we'll catch up on that eventually.
If I see a lot of people watching it, then I'll catch it up. That's my drive.
Your motivation.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see. Is that everything? Merch.
Yeah, I think
all
so.
those social media. Okay. All right. That's good, guys. Don't forget, if you're watching up here on YouTube, like, comment, share. Send us out to anybody. Ring that notification bell. If you have anything that you want to talk about whatsoever, or if you have an idea for the podcast, or something you want us to take a deep dive into, shoot us a message. Shoot Bob a message. Shoot us a message here on TikTok. Yeah. Bob or myself. So, we appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us for the podcast. On behalf of Bob, Angie, Kay, Robin, and myself, thank you for joining us, guys. And remember,
stay curious
and find the truth, and we'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.